15 love.
Lina, the player with a lot more power in her arsenal. She can really hit through the court. She's an aggressive baseliner. Radwanska, she'll be looking to absorb the pace and try and make her way into these points, stay in them. But that is just too good. The serve was high quality. Radwanska getting a ball back very deep earlier in that point when Lina had control.
I said there's not a split inch between the two on some of the stats in this tournament alone. They've each won 4 matches. Haven't dropped a set, either of them. Total time on court, 5 hours 17 minutes for Lina, 5 hours 19 minutes for Radwanska. Average time in their 4 match wins, 1 hour 19 for Lina, 1 hour 20 for Radwanska.
It's been very impressive from both of them, and it's not as if they haven't faced quality opponents. Anna Ivanovic was Radwanska's victim in the 4th round. And Julia Gerges, the number 18 seed, was Lina's.
It's amazing, isn't it, the way Radwanska gets down to those low balls on the baseline on bended knee.
Well, I must confess, Radwanska, one of my favourite players to watch, just because of the variety in the shots that she hit. She did a little skip jump, scissor kick after one of the backhands, and then got down so low on another one.
20 shots in that rally. Could be here for a long time.
Depends how solid Lina can be.
Correction was good.
Ball was good, yes, landed right on the line.
Replay the point.
Radwanska had a quick look to her support group. Confirmation whether or not she should challenge, but wisely decided not to. There's the Hawkeye replay. Looks spot on.
Good to hear the quick overall from the chair.
There's no laughing and joking out there now.
Oh, sensational hitting from both women. And that rally, 19 shots. Some terrific depth from both of them. And in the end, it's Radwanska who was sort of pushed back on her heels there by the penetration of Lina's shot.
Deuce.
Well, we talked about expecting an exciting quality match, and we're getting a look at a bit of everything in this opening game. Lina knows she has to go for her shots to try and either put it out of Radwanska's reach or just get such great depth that she pushes her opponent back.
Advantage, Lee.
This was a great return from Radwanska on the stretch. Got it back to within centimetres of the baseline, but Lina held the ground, shortened a swing, and robbed Radwanska of the time to recover that next ball.
Deuce.
Developing into a real mental battle as well as a physical contest, the opening game of the match. Seven minutes elapsed time since play started.
Radwanska doing a good job because Lina has not missed a first serve yet in this opening game.
Advantage. Lee.
Game point again. A little frustration on the part of Radwanska. Average rally is 9 shots.
She just got pushed so far back in the court there. She had a look at that ball. She thought, well, did it hit the line? I think it might have been on the line. So precise, the hitting from Lina.
Deuce.
Oh. Now, this has to be frustrating Lina because she hasn't missed a first serve. And normally you'd say, well, all your first serves in, you've got a pretty good chance of winning the game quite comfortably. But Radwanska is returning very well. So I think this game far more critical for Lina.
Well, Lina's had several game points here. This is the first break point.
Advantage. Radwanska.
This would be a huge body blow if Lina were to drop serve here.
Deuce.
Doing a good job just to get that lob back into the court. Great mover, good anticipation from Radwanska.
She did well to maintain focus because 2 swifts flew right in front of her face as she was advancing on the net then, Lina.
Maybe she'll think that's a lucky omen. She won the point.
Advantage. Radwanska.
The pressure again here on the Chinese superstar.
took the soft option, and gosh, that was a break point.
Deuce.
That ball was coming at Radwanska so fast, very difficult to control from where she was in the court. Nigh on impossible. A rare, poor choice from Radwanska.
Forced on her by the power of Lena. Back to deuce. Yes, Lena getting the first serve back after missing a couple, putting her under pressure in the game, but now has game point again.
Advantage Lee.
Good move forward.
Game's been running 12 minutes. At last, after nearly 13 minutes. Yes, just caught the line, that's good. Lena standing right up on the baseline and keeping her opponent back 2.5 metres behind at the southern end.
Did a great job of wresting control of the point back after Radwanska put a good serve in, clipping the line with that last forehand winner. She is hitting very confidently, particularly off that forehand side. Backhand always steady.
Oh.
15-all.
That's a point thrown away.
I think she saw that Radwanska was already over that side of the court, moving that way.
Tried for too much.
Third 15.
Very much a matter of whether Lena can keep the unforced errors down with the way she is hitting the ball.
Yes, there's a decided power imbalance at this point of the match. That's the first outright winner that Radwanska has hit in the match. Her 10 previous points had all come from unforced errors by Lena.
40-30.
See how she gets down and takes that ball out in front of her. It just Means that it gets back down the other end of the court so much more quickly.
Deuce.
Radwanska trying so hard to stay around the baseline, but she's been pushed back just by the big hitting of Lina. Such greater penetration of shot.
Advantage, Radwanska. Cain, Radwanska. One game.
Now this was not a great drop shot. Good element of surprise, but it sat up and Lina got up there easily enough. But see the move from Radwanska? And Lina would be well aware of that. Often a distraction when you see the opponent going right where you're about to hit the ball.
Love. Love.
See there, Radwanska just trying to keep her ground on the baseline. Lina very smartly angles the ball away from her. Doesn't just go back down the court.
Radwanska finished 2012 top 5 in the world for the first time. Actually peaked at number 2 one period during the year. Currently number 4. Lina ranked 6 in the world. If she wins this match, will return to top 5. Lifted ahead and paid the penalty for doing so. twice on the backhand. She's just lifted.
30-40.
Good variety of shot here from Radwanska, responding with the slice and keeping it so deep. So hard for Lina to control when she's trying to generate some pace onto it.
Hands on hips, disbelieving Lina.
I don't think I've seen her called for a foot fault before. We're a bit surprised. And there was an opportunity for Radwanska.
Use.
All the matches I've covered here in the last week and a half, it's only the second one that I've heard called.
She's very stingy with the errors, and that was not the time to make one. The break point.
She's had all the break points, 2 in Lina's first service game. Second one here now.
Lina doesn't have a huge serve. Fastest so far today, 167. Just not getting any free points from it.
Well, despite the heavy hitting of Lina, Radwanska gets the first break. She leads by 2-1, first set.
Love 15.
Well, it's the power that wins the points for Lina, sweeping the ball from side to side in the court. There's a lot of ground for Radwanska to cover here. Nice control on the backhand. A steadier wing.
Love 13.
Radwanska not getting enough depth on the slice approach or angle. Was there for the hitting, and Lina lined it up. Still not an easy shot with the ball staying reasonably low off the slice.
Left for service.
Oh. Lina lines up a big opportunity to break back here. Double fault, love 40 for Radwanska.
Well, it's not a big serve that Radwanska possesses. Normally very consistent, though. Does not throw in many double faults at all.
Break back for 2-all.
Cain. 2 games old.
A great statement from Lina there. Breaking back easily, finding the line with that last ball right in the corner. It's the sort of power and accuracy it takes to subdue Radwanska.
Love 15.
It's the right idea trying to get Radwanska out of court, just pulling back on it. But going after those sort of shots, inevitably there will be mistakes. It was a great return from Radwanska, and she did not get enough on that second shot, the off forehand. And Lina was given time to get there and play a pretty aggressive pass. Oh, dueling leg cords in that point, and then Radwanska moving forward does a good job this time with the approach. It stays low, really cutting through the court.
It's tough, impossible for Lina to get that up and over the high part of the net. Beautiful. Tell you what, she's got a great and powerful forehand, Lina, but the backhand has been working for her very well in this match as well. Nails this one into the corner. The cross court, probably the better of the two backhand shots for her.
Met that one so early. No such thing as an easy hold of serve out here for Lina. It's been a struggle, even though she is getting a high percentage of first deliveries in.
Yes.
That time, a better placed serve, getting Radwanska stretching, a defensive return. Not much on it. And Lina gets the easy put away. Perfect placement from Radwanska. And look what she was standing her ground on the baseline. Does not retreat. And the off forehand, not pounded, more caressed as a winner. Strapping on Lina's knee prevention. Nothing wrong with that knee. There's her husband, Jiang Shan, celebrating their wedding anniversary next weekend, 7 years.
Well, she'll be hoping there's a double reason to celebrate.
Out. Game Radwanska.
Well,
Love 15.
It's the power of the shots from Linar and the penetration make it difficult for Radwanska. Look where she is in the court. Linar so much closer to the baseline. Radwanska well back defending. It all gets too much.
15.
it's the accuracy of the ground strokes from Radwanska that are beginning to tell.
13, 15.
Oh, this is just great hitting from Radwanska, moving Linar all over the court, using the whole court. Got to look at that knee strapping of Linar's before. She did have some time out of the game with a right knee injury back in 2008. She missed 4 months.
Isn't she'd had 6 months off the year prior to that as well with a stress fracture, and as you mentioned, 2 years out of the game altogether to study journalism at Huazhong Institute of Science and Technology.
Yeah, that was an interesting time. That was 2002 to 04, and there was a lot of speculation as to why she did leave the tour. And some of it centered around her lack of harmony with the China Tennis Association, wanted to do things her way. Great hitting.
I'll bet they're in harmony now that she's been in 2 Grand Slam finals and won the French Open.
Well, I think it's been quite an amazing journey in that sense, because at first I don't think the relationship between Linar and Jiang Shan was approved of, and they married. He became her coach, but it had to all be approved by the association. And for a while there, it wasn't smooth sailing. Very hard, an individual sport in a society that has been all about the collective, but they have reformed.
So the trend continues with yet another break.
3 games over.
Back to 3-all, back to square.
Here's a look at where Linar is in the court, most of the time just behind the baseline. They're always looking to get in. She's the one who's been able to dominate more in the rallies with her more powerful game.
The East is red.
A hot spot there.
Love 15.
Well, Linar's been a pioneer in terms of what she's achieved on the court, and certainly winning a Grand Slam and becoming the first Chinese player to do so much, along with Zheng Jia. In 2008, there was a big reform of the Chinese approach. They called it the fly alone policy, which enabled players to determine their own destinies.
And keep most of their own prize money.
Well, previously, something like 65% had gone to the state. And then with that policy, the amount that the players kept was drastically increased, and they were allowed to decide who would coach them and which tournaments they would play, because previously that had been controlled.
Double fault and a very loose shot from Lina, put it down love 30. Well, we had two exquisitely
15,
tight
13.
opening service games in the match and 4 successive service breaks since then.
Well, neither player has a huge serve, and both have excellent returns, so it's always going to be on the cards. A good angle there from Lina
30.
with the serve. Has to really find her spots.
Yeah, she stayed down low for the forehand, drove it down the line.
That is
40,
wonderful
15.
hitting. Just, we saw a shot of her husband there. Now he is not a coach. So much better for the husband-wife relationship, because she used to really,
Rip into him.
yes, give him a gobful up there in the stands, be always yelling at him. But she's changed that quite a bit now that Carlos Rodriguez is in control.
Game lead. New ball squeeze.
Backhand is working extraordinarily well for Lina.
Love 15.
Lina really in the zone out here, and she is pushing Radwanska around. Very hard for Radwanska to do anything creative with the ball. She's just having to play the defensive role, doing her best to try and keep the ball back deep in the court, not allow Lina a big strike at it.
Yes, the Polish player having to cover 14 metres further in that previous exchange.
Well, she's definitely having to cover more court. With the big groundies pushing her from side to side, it's whether Lina can keep the errors down.
Well, who was on the run in that point?
A little look at the magic of Radwanska. In that point, she did get the ball out in front of her and could start being creative.
30.
Perfection with that lob. The instinct to move forward there and take that on the full is what makes Radwanska top 5 player. Great anticipation and sense of strategy. That point a good example of where Radwanska uses the pace of her opponent and sends it back with a little more depth and even more on it.
Cain.
Ace for the game,
Radwanska.
4 games all. We illustrated earlier how Lee Na was standing up on the baseline.
4 games all.
Here's the difference.
Yes, well, Radwanska, her hot spot just a little bit further back in the court, and most of her play indeed behind the baseline. Not that she wants to be back that far, but she is being pushed back that far by the power of Lee Na's stroke. She's trying to get herself around that baseline area, but it's tough.
Bright sunshine now.
Love 15. Love 13.
This is a very important stage of the match. And again, Lee Na, I think, missing that because she could see Radwanska moving in that direction, anticipating where she was going to play the volley. Just puts more pressure on you to produce something better, and the error comes.
Well, this
Love
puts
14.
Lee Na really under the hammer. 3 break points here for Radwanska to go ahead by 5-4 possibly and be serving for the set. That's exactly the way it unfolds. Radwanska is ahead 5 games to 4. She will be serving for the set after this change of ends. Twice she hit the baseline, Lee Na.
Challenge on the call on the right baseline.
Challenge from Radwanska.
Maybe wishful thinking here. Also with the set near its end, she has 3 challenges to burn. Yeah, well in.
Love 15.
It's an important
Radwanska
point
has 2 challenges remaining.
for Lee Na to stop the run of points against her.
Love 13.
Certainly some resolve about the Lee Na game here. Stung after being broken to love. Coming out ripping this forehand. And now Radwanska in a spot of bother.
More than a spot.
Love 14.
Great forehands on successive points by Lee Na.
Dangerous to come in to the Lee Na forehand without doing enough with it.
Lee Na steps into the court for this second serve. and got the reply right on the baseline. Draws the error from Radwanska. Lena breaks yet again. It's 5-all.
5 games over.
Second serve only at 113, so essentially it got what it deserved. Solid play from Lena to level this. Nothing in it, is there? Just a point.
Well, we said at the outset, didn't we? Not a split inch between the two. Net cord just put the timing off for Lena.
Love 15.
Again, a little jump on the backhand from Radwanska.
Affirmative nod from Eva Astaraki.
Love 13.
Well, this ball just sitting there with the slice and Lena having to really generate pace off it. Overcooking it. 2 service games have been broken to love in a row. And now Lena down love 30. Will it go the same way? It's not often you see Agnieszka Radwanska left standing. She didn't anticipate that one. The first time in the match.
Yeah.
Disguising that, leaving it to the last split second.
Just couldn't get enough air with the attempted lob, Radwanska.
30.
Gee, this is high-intensity tennis. Radwanska being rushed on her shots by the power of Lena's attack.
Well, she had to attack. She was down love 30 here. Oh, what a shot. Oh. I said the backhand was working well. That's as good as it gets.
40. 30.
Oh, this is such a great shot. You don't see an acute angle like that very often. Saying sorry for it touching the net, but looked like it was a winner all the way.
Deuce.
This is such wonderful tennis to watch. It's these two working each other out, working each other around the court. Superb control from Radwanska.
No challenge. It was right on the baseline.
Advantage, Lee. Cain,
6
Lee.
games to 5. Lena.
La 15.
Maybe a little anxious Radwanska with that shot. Under quite a deal of pressure here.
Oh, she's been hitting a lot of paint,
15 all.
Lena, but she missed that time.
Out. Fifteen, 13.
Linesman was a little slow to call there. He did eventually, but Ivaz Daraki jumped in at the same time.
Well, not missing by much. And this is what Radwanska is trying to do, keep it very deep. Not allow Lena to get the big strike on the ball.
Point should have been hers.
30 all.
Well, this is a good lob. Very awkward for Radwanska to hit there on the backhand side. An opportunity there for Lena, missed.
Set point for Lena.
Thirty, 14.
Chinese supporters are excited. Oh, well saved. Looked to play the last forehand just a little awkwardly, but it was right into the corner.
Deuce.
Yes, had to fade the racket face to put that into the backhand side. Came up with a well-placed first serve.
An hour and 5 minutes this first set has been in progress. And that brings up a second set point. No, it doesn't. Advantage, Lena.
Advantage, Lee.
It is set point, yes. Second set point for Lena.
Again, just not able to come in on the right shot.
Uh-oh. Oh. First set to Lena, 7 games to 5. The last point was just an illustration of the entire set, a knockdown, drag-out brawl, this match. Seven service breaks in that opening set, and that's not a criticism, it's a reflection of the intensity and the great returns on the part of both players.
Our serves are not the major weapons of either player. Their power's off the ground. And I don't just mean brute force. For Radwanska, it's the way she can work the ball around the court, but she has to be allowed to. Like that.
Yes, there's a difference between muscling the ball and timing the ball.
Love 30.
Well, this is superb. She had Lena way over that side of the court and rolls it away. Short in the corner of the service box. It's just smart tennis. But she hasn't been able to execute that sort of shot when she's being pushed back. She doesn't get the first strike in, keep the ball deep.
Love 14.
Clever again from Radwanska, putting in the short ball that Lena then has to try and get under. Very hard to hit up like that. Different slice on the ball.
Trend continues. 3 break points for Radwanska. Well, here's the start for the Polish player. Opening game of the second set.
Radwanska made only 11 unforced errors in that first set. Lena 29. I don't think Radwanska would have been happy with that 11. I like to keep it to single figures.
30 love.
Just tossing the ball to test where the sun is. Down the more difficult end. That's a shot you're not going to see from many players.
40 love.
Just chopping under it. And Lena not ready for it, not expecting it, the element of surprise.
Cain, Radwanska. Radwanska leads 2 games to love.
Well, not a nice feeling for Lena to take that first set and then have this lapse in the second. Just too many errors, and she hasn't won a point yet in the 2 games.
Let second service. Let second service.
That must be a relief.
Yes, after 8 straight points to her opponent.
15 love.
Been very solid when she's been at the net. On 14 of 18 points in the front of the court. A bit of power from Radwanska there with the forehand down the line, and here she disguises that shot so well. Linar cannot pick where it's going. Whips up through it to send it cross-court short. A strange point there. This hit return from Radwanska. And she decides to go for the toughest shot with Linar covering that side, forcing her to go for even more.
Oh, gosh, I thought she'd overhit that for a minute. Didn't leave any margin for error.
40-15.
This is the big hitting that has really caused Radwanska so much of a problem in the match. And why her stats at the net are so good, because the shot that she moves forward on is usually so strong.
Cain, lead. Love 15.
Radwanska's won 12 WTA Tour titles, but 8 of those have come since she had surgery for a stress fracture in her foot in 2010. She won 3 in 2011, 3 titles last year, and 2 already this year. Hasn't looked back.
Love 13.
And another example then in that point of Radwanska being really pushed around. Linar making it so difficult for her to dictate in the points.
Let's first service.
It's one of her better first serves.
15-30.
Served an ace like that in the first set in a clutch situation. That serve was only 112.
15-14.
And it just gives Lina so much of an opportunity to take charge of the point.
2 break points. Break back points. It's a familiar story. First one player, then the other. Square at 2 games all here in the second set. We talk about the number of firsts that Lina has chalked up for Chinese women's tennis. Radwanska was the first Polish woman in the Open era of tennis to get to a Grand Slam final when she achieved that at Wimbledon last year. Stressed Open era when I said that, because there was a Polish woman in the 30s, Jadwiga Jadwiga, who reached 3 Grand Slam finals.
You just wanted to say that, didn't you?
I did.
Well done.
Rolls off the tongue nicely, doesn't it? She was a finalist at Wimbledon in 1937. Oh, what was that?
I don't know, but it's been caught.
Right off the top of the frame.
We talked about the sun being an issue down that end. That's what caused it. Well, Radwanska putting that ball right in a nice spot there for Lina, not able to do enough with it. That's been the story too often. Quality of shot that Lina gives her is putting her under a lot of pressure. Classic Radwanska, that one.
30-15.
Sees that open court. And sends it flying down the line. Effortless power. It's interesting when there is no culture or there's no role model in the sport in your country that you end up doing so well. I think it's because Radwanska started her tennis in Germany, where her father was a club professional. That's where she began and has gone on to great things. Quite a few players with Polish heritage in the game. Wozniacki and Kerber. Radwanska wrong-footed to change direction.
Cain, lead.
Well, miss-hit return from Lina, landed right on the baseline.
Love 15.
Yes, it worked for her, didn't it? Right now, she's hitting very confidently. After the little lapse in the opening 2 games, she's really come on strongly. I don't know if Radwanska will be sharp enough to respond. Oh, it's just too good.
Missed the first serve, looks skyward.
Love 30.
Difficulty with the ball toss into the sun as we keep stressing at that end.
And it's just so tough for Radwanska to get into the point after her serve goes in at 112 kilometres an hour.
The difficulty is not only on serve, it's on sighting the return from your opponent. After looking up into the sun, you get those sunspots in your eyes.
With the power that Lina is hitting it with, I don't think it matter whether she could even see it at the moment. There is just so much confidence down Lina's end of the court at the moment. Hitting powerfully.
Let for service.
3 break points and a second serve. Double. No, not a double. My apologies.
Game lead.
No, but it's game regardless for Lina. Nothing was going to save Radwanska in that situation.
Leads 4 games to 2.
Well, with the display that Lina is putting on now, keeping the unforced errors down and cranking out the winners, see why the match is very much on her racket. It's whether she can dictate, keep the winners up, keep the unforced errors down, and not allow the magician into the match.
It's a bit like a boxing match, isn't it? Doesn't matter how good your technique is, you absorb so much punishment after a while, takes a toll. And she's been on the back foot against the power hitting of Lina right throughout.
Going from strength to strength, Lina.
30 love.
Placement spot on, 147 kilometres per hour only, but that's not what counts. And oh, so suddenly, after a marathon and gripping first set, after Radwanska had the early break and led 2 games to 1 in this second set, Lina has got a very firm grip on this quarterfinal.
(40-15). Game lead.
Lina leads a set and 5-2. It's going to take some heroics on the part of Radwanska now to get back into the match.
Lead.
$250,000 is what the loser in this match takes home, and the winner goes on to who knows what. A whole lot more money and maybe Grand Slam glory.
$15 all.
Lina moving well, strong round the court, thanks to a very tough pre-season training with her new coach, Carlos Rodriguez. Worked her very hard.
Third to 15.
Didn't get onto the attempted lob, Lina.
40-15.
I didn't think that Radwanska had done enough on the approach here. Got away with it.
It was very close. She queries Eva Azdaraki. She's going to challenge.
The ball was called out.
May as well, but I think it's out by 17 millimeters.
Seconds. Deuce.
Oh,
Radwanska has 2 challenges remaining.
only second double fault for the match and first in this set at such a critical moment. Challenge distracting there.
Well, Lee now is just 2 points from victory. Denied by
Radwanska.
good serve from Radwanska.
Cain.
Radwanska holds serve. Is it delaying the inevitable?
Lee leads 5-3.
Well, Lina now with the task of trying to serve this out.
From the
Let's not-
southern end.
Let's not forget she's got to exorcise some demons from her last big appearance here, where against Kim Clijsters she had match points and lost.
Love 15.
So it may not be as straightforward as it appears.
That's out. Well, it's just one break of serve, and she's now down love 30, Lina.
Love 13.
Oh, she's just been playing so well to get to this position, but you just wonder whether she's going to be as confident closing this match out. Oh, and that was in.
Wow.
That was the time to challenge. Another total mishit on the serve.
Again, no margin for error from the big hitting Lina.
She's done this so well throughout the match. She got the ball very deep, then the slightly shorter ball, sees it go up in the air, and she's finished them off very confidently throughout this match. Winning 20 of 24 points at the net.
Out.
Chances now for the break back. Just not looking as solid.
15-14.
I'm sure everyone up in the player box there fully aware of the sorts of emotions that might be going through Lina's mind right now, trying to close the match out.
$30-14. Let's second service.
Standing well in on Lina's second serve.
Yes.
She stood firm.
Well, she's again within 2 points of the match.
And she lost the match to Kleisters after having match points, was in tears after that match, knew she'd let it go. She does not want to let another match slip past here.
Thunderous backhand from Lina forces the error from Radwanska.
Advantage, lead.
And at last on the verge of victory, Lina. It's out, and Lina does it.
2 sets to love. 7-5, 6-3.
Well, she's been the final shooter for the Australian Open. She's one step closer to winning